Hey again, Internet. So, I guess I'm considering going in for electroshock therapy. Fucking electroconvulsive therapy. Like, apparently it's not as much of a meme as people think it is. Like, apparently it's got like an 80% success rate. Like, I don't give a shit about pain, so, like, honestly, I'm kind of into the idea. Just seeing if it would work. Just seeing if it would stick. Because, like, that'd be nice. But I've done some more research, and apparently I'm, like, basically bipolar. Like, ain't fucking much that's going on. Like, apparently a lot of other people have it way worse than me, and I won't, well, yeah, just, honestly, like, ADHD, too. Like, paying attention to shit is hard, so, yeah, just learned a bunch, but yeah, the fuck am I talking about, though? Oh, curators, curators, right, that's a thing that I've gotta get started. So, curators. What is a curator? Well, the personality type and kind of the general demeanor would actually be like a decent match to like fucking... God, I mentioned this guy a lot. Fucking Vsauce from his channel. Not the man behind the camera. No, the personality. Like, he's different in real life. Most people are, but what if you weren't? Like, it's a happy life I can have. Like, honestly. But yeah, I guess that's where it all started. Just thinking about jobs that would be fun, and I ended up just kind of making one. So, I guess well, not kind of a waste if I didn't do it, but it'd be interesting. I just need stims, and I need to be on, you know, anxiety meds and all that, 'cause, So, I'm pretty sure I tried to pretend that I was hearing voices for a long time. In fact, I did do that. I don't know why, but I guess I was just lonely, so I pretended to do it, and then just kinda, that's a hard thing to sustain, and just, it got weird, but I had pretended I heard voices, and those pretended voices were always nice, so just kinda, it was awful. It was like a betrayal of just something that I cared about, but as I gradually move past that, you know, things shouldn't be that bad. Thought that was like 2 minutes. God damn. Guess that makes sense. It's something I enjoy. So, the curators. Honestly, like just kind of assess all the information I put in these videos, and you might be able to become one just on your own. But don't start calling yourself that. Like, honestly, just because you think you might be. Fucking, the correct etiquette is to say, hey there, I'm with the cult. I like to think I'm half awake. And that's, it's funny, out of context. but also it means something. So that's neat. It's a neat thing to do. Just be able to say something that's funny. So I realized a lot of people have like social moves they use. Like social, like fucking, like social, like fucking combos and all that, which is interesting. So, like, I'm just kind of rambling here. Like this is fun. It is, but like maybe daily isn't the best way to do this. Like maybe I should give myself a little bit more time to percolate on this stuff. Like honestly. Like, well, now that I think about it, I'm not really planning anything right now. Like, on this video, I should be planning something. That's how I do all the other videos. Why do I always forget that? Oh well. But, like, that's neither here nor there. So, the mental web. The mental web. Now how is that applicable? Like I mentioned it earlier, and it's a Bible, but we need programmers. We need programmers for this mental web, because each mental web is a bit of programming. It's just a bit of programming. Now, it's just a little snippet of programming that, well, we're people. We can, people, programming a person isn't like programming a computer. It can't glitch. It can't, like, you can't just, like, without an obscene amount of just effort on a certain vulnerable party, you can't just, like, program something that just completely destroys a person. Like, honestly. Like, it's just little behavioral modifications. Like say you step on something, then you might, or step on something and it's a little bit sharp, then you might, like, have trouble with it, and then, like, fucking be a little bit more wary around that area. But that wariness wears off. It wears off because, you know, life continues, and that just kind of goes far out of your mind. You don't go to that place in your mental web anymore. And now, that's just, it, the way programming works as far as the curators go is, so media. What is media? What is a piece of media? Well, it's canned experiences. It's an experience that multiple people can have. Now, that experience is never going to change. You can watch it as many times as you'd like. And it's effectively programming that doesn't fade like all other programming does. So, media is, in essence, really, really scary. Like, honestly, like it's kind of a fire. Like, fucking, people are going for clicks. Every time they do something on the internet, they're just going for clicks. And because it's got the green paper thing, but we're actually sterilizing, like, general media and doing all sorts of weird things, and that's programming. More and more people think of what they've seen on TV or in a movie as, you know, like something that wasn't written. They think of it like an experience, because, oh, I saw the man do the thing and it worked out. So, like, fucking, it's all programming. Media is. It's little snippets of programming, and no one is being careful with that, like, at all. Like, not even a little bit. Like, media is never going away at this point. Like, humanity doesn't fall, or humanity doesn't lose media without just, like, bombing ourselves back into the Stone Age. And someone needs to deal with that fire, because if that fire isn't a controlled burn, it's gonna get out of hand real quick. And a controlled burn isn't quite the right way to put it. It's more of a scary thing that can be beneficial, but could also be not great. Like, fucking, media is, in essence, the ability to change the way an entire society thinks. Now, why are memes called memes, when in the classical sense, go watch the Monsoon speech again, it's good. In the classical sense, memes are something different than what they are now. They're, you know, basically ways of thought. But now we've got the internet with its memes being little tiny things that are, you know, fucking here 1 second, gone the next, over and over again. Well, you see, there is now more content, more good content on the internet than one person can watch in their entire lifetime. There is now a flood of quality content. And just that content happens to be incredibly diverse. Now, is that a bad thing? No. We get different, you know, different permutations, different sum of experience, all that. What is the problem then? The problem is news. Now, what is the most important thing when it comes to ensuring humanity actually gets where it needs to go? Or gets, you know, longevity. Gets, you know, longevity until, like, a meteor hits or some shit. Like, I don't know. Maybe that'll happen. Maybe it won't. Fucking, who knows? Maybe it's not even, it's not even sure what'll happen at this point. But I'm getting a little bit off topic. The news. Now, we've got a two-party system in the U.S. This is a U.S. problem. If you are not residing in the U.S. currently, you may have a similar problem, but you don't have it quite as bad as the U.S. has it. Now, the U.S. has two political parties. The U.S. has two news sources, Fox and CNN. And the U.S. has learned, or at least the news sources have learned, that riling people up and pissing them off makes them way more likely to get, or makes them way more likely to click on stuff than it does, anything else. Now, what is this doing when the media is effectively programming people to be angry at another side? Well, they're programming them to... Basically, they're programming a civil war. Like, actually, the two-sided media thing is programming a civil war in the US. Now, that isn't great. But what's worse is it's teaching people to just totally ignore what they don't believe in, because there's so many lies on both sides that just people are becoming so much more closed off and just locked to their guns. They just won't change their opinions at all anymore. Fucking people, the idea that I'll have my opinion and you'll have yours, that's damaging to just the world, because if every argument, every, conversation politically ends as, well, I'll have my opinion and you'll have yours, then we can't decide what's for the best. Now, what is for the best? Well, for the best is... Well, let me put it this way. The riots that happened in the US because one person got, killed by police in an awful way, that's gonna be closer to the new standard. Now, this isn't for the best, but let me take you on a rabbit hole. So, that was just one shitty day for a few people just lighting the match for huge riots. And the riots were justified. Like, fucking everybody that was rioting was going, hey, police, stop killing us. Now, the just barrage of misinformation and bullshit and just all sorts of things just kind of all came down as a shitstorm, because everyone thought that fucking as soon as they conceded on one single thing, as soon as they conceded on one point, their whole entire thing, their whole entire, belief in the police as, some decent human beings, the entirety of what they thought life was, would crumble down just because of one point. Just because of one singular point. And that's not for the best. Now, why did that happen? Why did people think that one thing was connected to the next thing, was connected to the next thing, was connected to the next thing, was connected to the next thing? Why did why did one black guy dying become a massive shitstorm on basically the Republican side of going, well, if I can't believe that anybody is right at all, because if I even think that, innocent people getting killed is bad, then fucking that's connected to the fucking police as a whole, and connected to like the fucking, well, it's kind of connected to the police as a whole, but it's connected to fucking this, that, and the other thing. Like examples, like fucking connected to the American dream, and connected to the fucking stock market and the fucking GOP and all that. How did policemen killing black people become an anti-fucking GOP thing? Like, fucking, they shouldn't support that, obviously. Like, I don't think they would, but it's just, they believe that their particular, well, physical web, that's a new word I could use. It's not the mental web, it's the physical web of just things that seem connected. Just their entire ideology was just like, they think that if one little thing was modified, the whole fucking thing would come crashing down. And that's not it. And in America's supposed to be the land of the free. And if no one can go, hey, I didn't get all that equality, I didn't missed out on a little bit of that equality, can you maybe do me a solid here? That shouldn't turn into a fucking shitstorm of just, no, it's connected to all this, and if you believe that, then you must also believe that. And what I'm trying to say is, people, well, that all stems from having two primary news sources that like to fight. Those two primary news sources, CNN and Fox, make it media. They make politics media. Now, what did I say about media earlier? Media is dangerous. Media is really dangerous. Because it seems so close, so genuine. It seems like fucking the reporter up there is your friend. You've watched him for years and years and years, and you just fucking, like, I don't know any of the names, but the big personalities. It's like fucking, they can't even think that one thing one person says is incorrect. Because if they think that one thing one person says is incorrect, then the whole thing, they think the whole person goes crashing down. Fucking cancel culture. You did this years ago, so we're just gonna destroy your life. Why? Why? People are now fully believing that other people can't change their mind. Now, what is that from? Well, what do we have in our daily lives all the time? Well, media. More specifically, narratives. Now, narratives are written. Narratives, gentlemen and ladies, are not real. They're just fun hoodoo that you can watch. Now, what is the primary trope? Well, antagonist and protagonist. Now, what does the antagonist do? Does the antagonist ever change their mind and go, hey, that wasn't great, maybe I should stop that? No, they don't. They don't. Now, that particular bit of the societal mental web really, really needs changing, because if we don't change that particular bit of programming, then it's not all going to come crashing down quick. It's going to happen slowly, but it will happen.